mat Pilates class. So just remember, these are, if you have injuries or any conditions that may not be appropriate to doing a full class, please take precautions, modify the exercises if you need to, and just take care of your own body. So let's start lying down on your back in a supine position or a hook-like position. So just lying on your back with your knees bent and your feet hip width apart. And we're going to just scan your body to start with, making sure that all 10 toes and the heels are connected with the mat, that the legs are parallel, and the pelvis is heavily weighted on the floor. The arms reaching down by your side, and just take a moment. Okay, from here we're going to begin with some bridging. So I want to inhale, prepare, and then exhale as I tilt the pelvis towards me. Then we begin to peel and roll the spine up off the mat until we're resting on our shoulder blades, not through the neck. Inhale, and then rolling back down, articulating one vertebrae at a time as we roll through the spine, allowing the pelvis to come back to a neutral position, so a small curve in the lower back. Inhale, and exhaling, we're rolling, pressing down through the heels as you lengthen the knees. You're opening up through the front of the hips. Now be careful not to flare through those front ribs. Ribs stay connected with the abdominals. Inhale, and rolling it back down. Pressing through the heels to engage the bottom fibers of your glutes. Lengthening through the hip flexors. Inhale. Now really feel like the upper back, one bone at a time, rolls down through the spine, and that your pelvis touches evenly on both sides of your glutes. So try to make sure that you're level. Even here, pause at the top. Check and scan your pelvic bones, your ASIS bones. Are these bones level, as if there was a ruler across the front of your pelvis? And we'll make this your last one. And as you come back down, just reset in your neutral position, keeping your hands by your side or on your pelvis if you need to. And we're going to take it into some dead bugs or some single leg lifts to start off with. So we're going to inhale, prepare. Exhale as you float the leg up to tabletop. Inhale, and lower it back down. Now we change the alternate side with minimal sway through the pelvis. Now you can stay with that breathing pattern, or we can increase the tempo a little bit faster. So exhale up, inhale down, exhale up, inhale down. Now if that breathing pattern doesn't work for you, then mix it up. Just make sure that you're never holding your breath. This time, bring one leg up and hold. Now you want the knee above the hip. If anything, bringing it a little bit closer will make it easier. From here, without changing the curve in your lower back, can you bring the second leg up to meet it? Holding from here, we're going to go into some little femur arcs or toe taps. So now we exhale, lower the leg part way down and bring it back up. And we alternate legs. Now everybody's range here will vary. Try to only go as low as you can without arching your back. As soon as you start to feel a little curve starting to form in the lower back, that's where you pause. That's your end range. Last two. From here, let's interlace the fingers behind the head, and we're going to take it into our chest lifts. So you've really cut to the base of the skull, the thumbs are running down the neck, and then just make sure you can see your elbows in your peripheral vision. The pelvis is going to remain nice and heavy, so hopefully we don't have too much movement around the pelvis. Inhale as we prepare. Exhale as you curl through the head, neck and shoulders, and imagine your ribs are gliding closer towards your pelvis. Inhale, and then back down. So if you're stiff like me this morning, you might only get a small weight. And then over time, as we do a few more, hopefully you'll start to get a little higher. Allow your eye gaze to arc the ceiling, drift down on the wall, and roughly your eye gaze will just be above your knees. And now we're going to hold it at the top. So we're going to exhale, curl up. Hold here. Now, continue with that. Progress with me if you can. Inhale, reach your hands over to your thighs. Take hold of your thighs. Curl a little higher. Take the hands back to the head. Wait for them to get there. Now you lower down. So each movement should have a breath pattern. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, lift the chest a little higher. Take the hands back to the head on an inhale. Exhale, lower it all the way down. Final progression will stay up there this time. Exhale, curl. Inhale to reach. Exhale, lift that little bit higher. Now we're going to stay here. Just the arm movements. Inhale, arms to the ceiling. Exhale to the knees. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now this is our abdominal endurance to stay here. Take the hands back to the head and then lower all the way down. Good work. Hopefully you felt a little bit of burn through the abdominal wall there. Alright, now taking the hands down by your side, we're going to start with some leg circles. Now, easiest option is to keep one leg bent at 90 degrees and the other leg bent on the floor. And imagine that this knee is going to draw a circle on the ceiling. The option is to extend both legs straight, okay? Now if you have that flexibility, great. If not, come back to the regress version of a bent lever. From here, I want you to keep your pelvis nice and steady. So if you need to place your hands on your pelvis, that's fine. We're going to do 5 circles. So we start to take the leg across the body, circle down, around, and back up. Inhale, and exhale. Keep pressing down through the right foot, stabilizing through that right hip. And then we come back to the center, pause. We reverse direction, go out to the side, come down and around. Now the smaller the circle and the slower the circle gives you more control. If you want to challenge it, then you increase your range of motion, but only as long as your pelvis can stay nice and steady. Last one here. And then we pause at the top, we bend the knee, we slide the leg down, we bring the other leg up, and then we go again. So, option, remember you can do it with this bent knee lever, circling around. Or you could extend the leg and keep going. We pause as we come back. Now, reverse direction. Option, you can always bring your hands down by your side. If you can feel that your pelvis is nice and stable, then take the hands away. And last one. Pause as you come back, fold the knee, and then lower the foot down, slide it out, and give both legs a little bit of a shake. Okay, so from here we're going to progress into a single leg stretch. So the leg will be extending out on a 45-degree angle. Higher the leg, easier it is. Lower the leg, harder. Keep that in mind. No straining through your lower back. As we start to float the legs up into tabletop one at a time, if you get a sore neck, leave your head down. Otherwise, we curl up through the head, neck and shoulders. Both hands onto your right knee. Extend your left leg out long. We take a breath in and we change legs. Feel as if you're extending the leg, you're pointing the toe out to the wall in front of you. But I'm trying to stay lifted through my head, neck and shoulders. Last two, and one. Bring both knees back in, lower your head and shoulders down. Now take your hands on top of the knees, and we're just gonna add in some femur circles. So we're gonna mobilize your hip joint. I want you to draw the knees in towards your center, then separate them in the opposite direction. So your hip joint is like a ball and socket joint. I want you to imagine the ball rolling around deep inside the socket. It's a well-oiled, lubricated joint, so it should be rolling nice and smoothly. Try not to move through our lower back here too much. And then reverse direction. Take both knees away, open them out, and then circle them back in. Good. And then come back to the center, lower one leg down, and then the other leg. Do a few pelvic tilts to reset your pelvis if you need to. And from here, we are going into your hundreds. So quick little demo, remember, level 1, if you need to, would just be to here, and you pump through the arms. Level 2, one leg, then both legs, and then as you can, you extend the legs out. You choose where you're comfortable with today, and then progress over time. I don't want any straining on the neck or straining on the lower back. Alright, so from here, I'm going to start by bringing my legs, actually I'll start down and I'll progress it as we go. So, I curl up through the head, neck and shoulders. Hands are down by my side. I'm going to start to beat the hands in. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last breath. Hold, bend the knees in, hug the knees to your chest, lower the head and shoulders down, and just rock from side to side. So remembering your hundreds is a deep abdominal exercise, but it's also a breath exercise. So I really want you to work on the inhale and exhale for 5 counts. Okay, from here, legs are up, hands behind the knees, taking it into an assisted roll up from here. So my arms are starting straight, trying to keep, and I want to work the hamstrings. So rather than pull on the arms, feel like it's the hamstrings pulling you up. So from here, I'm going to take a deep breath in, and I start to curl from the head. I breathe out. Now I exhale, oh, I'm stiff today, and now I let the feet touch the floor as you roll up and lengthen tall. Inhale, initiate from the pelvis, so the pelvis will roll backwards. You're rounding your spine into a deep C curve, and the feet will slowly start to follow. You're going to finish with the legs in tabletop and your head, neck and shoulders resting on the ground. And again, inhale as we're curling up. Articulating one bone at a time. And sitting tall. And rolling back down. keep your eye gaze straight ahead, try not to drop the eye gaze down. Now here, it's the abdominals that control the rate that you roll down so that you're not flopping. We're still looking for spine articulation. So as we start curling up, are we jerking? And if you are feeling a bit stiff today, that's okay. Maybe pop a little hand towel underneath your lower back might help. Now, option here, you can continue with this assisted variation, otherwise straighten the legs out along on the floor and we're going to take it into our full roll up. So our full roll up is going to start with our arms just slightly over our head, making sure that we're not arching through the back there, so keeping the front ribs down. We inhale as the arms start to come up, curl into a chest lift, exhale, continue to roll all the way up. Roll forward into a spine stretch. Now, restack the spine from the base, the lower, mid, upper back. We reset everything nice and tall. Now we roll from the pelvis. So the pelvis starts to roll backwards. The abdominals are deepening towards the spine as you continue to articulate all the way down with control. The arms will float over your head but without flaring those front ribs. And again, inhale, we curl up. And continue to roll all the way up, scoop up and over through the belly. Shoulders stay down away from the ears. We restack through the spine. Inhale. Scoop in the belly. Keep both heels nice and heavy on the ground. Good. This time we'll finish in a seated position. And as we roll forward, just take hold if you can. Either take hold of your shins, take hold of your toes, and just hold there for a moment. And breathe. Now feel like you're trying to expand across the back of your ribs, the back of your brow line. And now let's restack through the spine. Good. And let's shuffle forward. So we're going to take it into rolling like a ball now. So from here, I'm just going to roll up my trousers a little bit. I'm going to take hold of the front of my shins. Now, my feet are flat on the floor. I'm holding the front of my shins. Otherwise, you can hold the wrist. And I'm sitting up nice and tall. Now I want to round. I want to scoop the belly and I want to come into more of a C curve in my spine. From here, we hold that C curve, float one foot at a time. So now we're hovering. My eye gaze is down at my belly button, and we're going to hold this shape. From here, using your breath, inhale to roll back, exhale to roll up. Inhale back. Really important that we never roll onto our neck, always onto our shoulders. This is meant to be a nice spine massage, so I don't want you trying to throw yourself up. You need a little bit of momentum, but the most important part is the breath with the abdominal connection. Last two. Last one. And pause. Lower the feet down. We're going to change it now into your seal. So your seal changes feet positioning. Bring the soles of your feet together. Take the hands and hook underneath your ankles. So you're holding the outside of your ankles. From here, if I'm sitting nice and tall, I want to start by rounding, rolling back into that deep C curve position, and I'm going to float one foot at a time. Doesn't matter if we don't get the seal claps today, let's just work on the rolling action. So with the feet in this position, still focusing on your breath, we roll from here. So it's inhale to roll back, exhale. Now try not to sit up tall, stay in that round shape. Good, and again. 2, 3, roll back. 1, 2, oh, work on that third one. And again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And it might be a progression. As you get more mobile through your spine, you'll be able to get that third one up there. Last time. Ooh, that was a bad one. And coming all the way back up. So sometimes if your spine isn't warmed up enough, you're going to struggle to get that third heel clap. So sometimes forget about the feet and just work on mobilizing the spine, and as you get warmer through your spine, the feet claps will be able to get easier when you're in that inverted position. Alright, from here, let's stay seated. Now, if you struggle to sit up nice and tall on your sit bones here, and you feel like you're just constantly slouched because you've got tight hamstrings or tight lower back, what I'd prefer you to do, sit on a towel, a rolled up towel, shove it underneath your bum, or otherwise, bend your knees, much easier. Could even cross your legs if you prefer. I'm going to stay with my legs straight, and from here, I'm taking my arms out wide, just slightly in front. If that's too much on your shoulders, come into your prayer position. We're going into spine twist. So from here, keeping the feet nice and heavy, keeping the sit bones still, take a breath in, rotate to the left. Inhale as you come back. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the side. Good. Now I want to feel like I'm a puppet string pulling me up through the crown of the head, so I stay nice and tall as I'm rotating. My heels are pressing down to the floor, and my sit bones are anchored onto the ground. If it's getting too much, go back into a prayer position. And think about keeping your chin in line with your chest. So you don't do too much rotation through your neck. It's more about rotating around your rib cage and your mid-thoracic. Last time to the right. Good. And then back. Roll those shoulders if you need it. And from here, we're going to lie back down. So if you can do it as a transition, we roll the spine all the way down. Good. From here, we're now going to take it into a roll over. So a rollover is an inversion where our feet are going to come up and over our head. Remember, we only want to rest onto our shoulder blades, definitely not on the neck. So let's start with the legs up in tabletop. The legs are glued together so the knees and feet are together, and hands are down by your side. We extend the legs up towards the ceiling, and from here we're going to take a breath in, and we're going to use the deep abdominals as we roll up and over into a rollover position. Now from here, separate the legs parallel if you can, shoulder width apart. Now start to roll the spine down, but think of it like a bridge. Need to come down one bone at a time so that you don't just plonk down. Once you get down, circle the legs around. Just do a mini circle so that they come back together and you're ready to go again. Inhale and exhale. The weight should be on the top of your shoulders. We separate the legs. Now we roll down with control. Try not to let the shoulders lift too much. Keep breathing. Little mini circle. And again. Bit hard to talk when you're upside down. We've got 2 to go. And the last one. And let's finish by folding the knees and carefully lowering one leg at a time down and then rolling onto your side. So from here we're going to come into some side kick work. Now, I don't mind if you're up here on your forearm. It is actually going to be more challenging, but you do need to make sure that you don't end up sagging down here. If you're going to be up here, you've got to stay lifted and work strongly through the shoulder girdle the whole time. Two other options. You can come down, be supported, like use your hand to support your neck, or use your arm to support your neck. So I might go here today. Legs are out straight, and I can just see my tippy toes. They're not all the way forward though, so they are just in line so that my heels are in line with my bum. Top hand can be on the ground for support, otherwise on this top leg. Sometimes I like to feel like I'm lengthening that top waist away from me. From here, steady yourself. If you do lose balance, bend that bottom knee. Just a little, always gives you that little bit of extra balance. All right, so I want you to think someone's grabbed you by the foot, they're dragging your leg long, and you're gonna float it up and down. Exhale up and down. We're going to hold the next one up. Now, try to keep it roughly hip height. I want you to bring it forward and back. Now, this is where some of you might need to bend your knee and forward and back. As you come forward, make sure you're not tucking through your lower back. And as you reach the leg back behind you, keeping that core connected so that we're not arching through the low back. And forward and back. That foot is ideally staying in line with your hip. And go all the way back and hold. Now bring it back so that both legs are in line again. Keep that foot up here and let's go for circles. And reverse. And pause. Lower the legs down. Hopefully that got the top edge of your glute nice and warm. We're going to come up to our side plank position. In Pilates, sometimes we call it side lift. So we are going to be on your forearm. You want the elbow directly underneath the shoulder girdle. Here's your leg options. 2 knees bent, and then you would lift up from here. Second option, 1 leg straight, you would lift up from here. And then third option is both legs straight. Ideally, you could go feet staggered, but ideally feet stacked is where you want to get to, and then we lift up and hold. Okay, come back down. So we're going to just lift and hold today and nothing else, but we are going to hold for a period of time. Alright, so setting yourself in the right position. Take a breath in. You choose your option and exhale. Let's lift and hold. Good. Keep your chin in line with your chest. Keep thinking there's a big spike underneath that hip. And coming all the way down. Lovely, let's flip over. We're going to do the other side. So we're going to come down and do our glute work first. So from here, again, I'm going to rest my head on my arm, but you do have a few other variations if you wish. Legs are out nice and long. I can just see my toes. Fingertips on the ground if we need to. Feel like you've got length through this top waist so you're not flat on the underside. And we're going to start with leg raises. So we lift and lower. And we hold the next one up. Now from here again, if you need to, little knee bend, we're going into side kicks. So we bring it forward and back. Keep thinking length through this top waist, and forward and back. Really try and engage your glute as you're going back. And we hold. Now, both legs out straight. From here, we're going to take it into our circles. And reverse. And lowering down. Give it a little tap if you need to, and then we're coming up into your side plank position or side lift position. So remember, choose your options, knees bent, legs straight, both legs straight. Set yourself up that your elbows directly underneath. Try not to sag through those ribs, so we're lifting up through the ribs. Ribs are lifted, we press through the forearm, press through the feet as we lift the hips up and we hold. Focus on your breathing. You're scanning your body. You're working your shoulder girdle, yes. You're working your side of your obliques, your abdominals, yes. The bottom glutes also working. Even the inner thighs are working. And we come down. Lovely work. Let's flip onto your stomach now. We're going to go into a bit of extension work. So starting with your arms in a capital E position. Now we want to avoid shearing across that lower back, remember? So this is thoracic extension. Think about in between your shoulder blades, above your bra line, that's the area we want to be working. So we take a breath in to begin with. We exhale as we engage through the abdominals, lengthen from the crown of the head. Bone by bone, the spine is starting to curl up and up and over your brow line. But imagine you're shining your chest bone forward, like a laser beam or a light is opening up from the chest bone, from your cleavage. Inhale, and then exhale as you roll it back down. So this is the reverse of bridging. So as we start to lengthen, we're extending through the top of the neck. Now we start to lift through the chest. We're extending the back, the upper back, bone by bone by bone. We're still trying to get segmental movement. Inhale, and then coming back down. Now this exercise here, this range might be enough for your body today, and that's fine. You can stay here and continue with it. If you're feeling comfortable, as we curl up, we're going to come into our full swan. So we're going to start to extend the elbows, straightening the arms as you come all the way up. So from here, we take a breath in. We start the exact same way. We lengthen through the crown of the head, through the neck, the upper back. Now I'm going to push down stronger through the palms of my hand. My core is engaged. I start to curl my spine and allow my elbows to straighten as I curl all the way up. Now at this point, my eye gaze has gone a little bit further on the carpet out in front of me. Take a breath in. Now feel like the belly button rolls down, then the front of the ribs. The elbows are bending. The chest will come down, shoulders and eye gaze last. Inhale. Lengthen from the crown of the head. The eye gaze will start to drift. The chest is lifting as the spine is curling. We're pressing through the hands as the arms are lengthening. Even the glutes are now on. Good. Inhale. So really important with our spine extension that we don't just shear off our lower back. We want to curl and roll the spine. Imagining the spine is like a crescent moon shape. So it's that nice C curve without the shear through the lower back. And our abdominals are always supporting and engaging. They're like a hammock or a sling. Good, holding in here. And then coming all the way down. Lovely work. This time, bring your arms down by your side. And from here, we're going palms up. And we're going to continue with our dart. So we're getting a little bit of shoulder blade work as well as our thoracic extension. So from here, the fingertips are reaching down near my thighs. My nose is just hovering off the mat. I take a breath in. I begin to lengthen from the crown of the head. My chest starts to curl. Now I'm reaching through the fingertips. I'm gliding my shoulder blades down my back as I curl up into extension. Inhale and exhale as I come back down. Allow the fingertips to rest. Allow the shoulders to even round forward slightly. So then you have somewhere to work from. So now you're going to lengthen through the crown of the head. The shoulder blades start gliding down. You reach through the fingertips as you curl up into your extension. And then control it all the way back down. Once again, let the fingers rest. The shoulders can round forward naturally. Last time, we're going to stay up there this time. Now, holding it here, this is going to be similar to our hundreds breath. We're going to breathe in for 5, breathe out for 5, and we pulse the arms. And let's go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. And in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that chest lift. Last breath. Hold with control, roll all the way down. Now from here, let's press back into a child's pose position. So your bum will come towards your heels. You'll stretch your arms out nice and long. If you need to, just take your knees slightly wider. Will make it easier on your hip joints. Lovely. Now, come to a seated position. And I'm going to sit what's called a Z sit. So 1 foot in front, 1 foot out to the side. Ideally, I'd like to see that your spine is relatively straight, that you're not too curved. So if you're noticing that this hip is lifted, grab a towel. Don't shove it under this side, shove it under the other hip, and that'll level your pelvis out a little bit. But if it's still really uncomfortable on this hip joint, either straighten the leg or cross your leg. Try to get the spine as vertical as possible. Alright, so this is challenging our external rotation on our this hip and our internal rotation on our back hip. The arms are going to be out to the side, just always below shoulder height to start off with. I'm going to take a breath in and I'm going to start to my right. So I'm side bending to the right. I let the hand touch as I reach up and over with the left arm. Inhale as I come back and exhale to the left. Good. Inhale. Now pay attention to where your sit bones are. Can you keep them relatively where they are without lifting any higher? That's what we want to avoid. Next time, as we come to the right, we're going to pause there. We come over to the right and we hold. Take a breath in. Now we're going to reach this arm forward. We're threading the needle as we rotate around and I look towards the right hand, but try and keep that left hip bone down. Inhale as you unravel, and then all the way up and over to the left. Now we just do a side bend here. We come back, and to the right we'll do one more. So we come over first, we hold, we thread the needle, we rotate back to the front, all the way up, we finish to the left, and then we come back up. Arms will come down. Good. Roll the shoulders, sweep the legs around. We have to do the other side. So again, on this side, you might find that this hip might feel easier or it might feel tighter. So again, if you need the towel, pop it underneath the left hip. If you need to adjust your hips, please do so. And arms will float up, starting to the left this time. Inhale as we prepare. We side bend to the left. The left hand touches, the left elbow softens as the right reaches up and over. Inhale as you come back. And exhale. Think length and drop those shoulders down away from the ears. Adding our rotation now as we come back over to the left. We come up and over, we hold, take a breath in and thread the needle. The arm will come down, but then think the ribs, the spine, that's where the twist is coming from. Not the shoulder girdle, but more from the spine as you unravel. Last time, go over to the left. We hold, take that breath in. Now we rotate. And back up. Finish off to the right. Just even out. That's always a nice stretch. And the arms will come down. All right, finish off. Let's do a little bit of weight bearing. So coming into your quadruped position, knees directly under hips. When you fall forward, that your hands will come directly underneath your shoulders and you should be in roughly a bit of a rectangular position or in a box position for your quadruped. Now, I don't want us to be round, nor do I want us too curved. Think that you've got a scorpion tail shooting out through your tailbone and then shooting out through the crown of the head. So length in both directions, abdominals just gently engaged. Okay, level 1, arms only. So we're going to take a breath in, exhale as you extend one arm out and up. Inhale as you come back in, exhale the opposite arm. And back. Pause. Level 2, just a single leg only. So we would exhale one leg out and then back in. And then the other leg out and back in. Level 3, opposite arm and leg. So we extend the arms and legs out and then we bring it back in. Imagine your arms and legs are sliding along train tracks, so you're trying to keep them parallel. Good. We're going to continue. You do your choice. Arms only, legs only, or opposite arm and leg. Now we want energy reaching through the arm and leg that's lifting, but we don't want to overreach that we topple. So we want to avoid the toppling. Think more about the control you have on the sides that you're weight bearing on. So from the shoulder, diagonally across your abdominals to the opposite hip. That's more important. So think about core stability, core control, rather than lifting the arms and legs too high. Last 2. And last 1. Good. those wrists, just give them a little roll around. From here, we're going to progress. We're going to come up into your leg pull front or your plank position. We're going to hold there for a moment as we transition into some pikes. So, hands under the shoulders, knees under hips. We start by extending one leg and then extending the other leg, and we hold here for a moment. I want you to work on strength. I want you to work on endurance. Now from here, we're going to transition into a pike. I want you to push your bum back towards the ceiling, roughly maybe your ears between your arms, and really reach those sit bones towards the ceiling. Now, transition back into your plank. Hold your plank. If you're getting tired, you'll start to feel like your chest is collapsing. Be strong through the arms. Feel like you're pushing yourself away from the floor. Go back to your pike. We're going to hold here. Let's do a calf stretch. Walk on the spot. You're bending one knee and you're stretching the opposite calf. We're going to lift both heels, lower both heels, hold. Now, if you can you walk your hands to your feet, bend your knees as much as you need. So I'm much more flexible, so I don't tend to bend my knees too much. Now, hold there for a moment, just pause yourself. We're going to slowly roll up to a standing position. Now, from here, feet hip width apart, we'll come into some standing roll downs. We're going to take a breath in. We exhale as we nod the head, we scoop the abdominals, the shoulders just naturally round. The arms just hang down heavy in front of you as you continue to roll down one vertebrae at a time, keeping the weight even over the heels and the toes. We take a breath in. We re-engage through the abdominals and we begin to restack the spine like Lego blocks. One vertebrae on top of the next, on top of the next. We lengthen tall and we roll down again. Let everything be heavy, like your ragdoll just dangling the arms. Feel the tension drifting out through the fingertips. Breathe into the back and sides of the ribs. And now we slowly begin to restack. Roll the shoulders up and over. We're going to finish with one more and we're going into standing balance. So just bring your feet a little bit narrower together. Hands by your side. Actually, hands on your hips to start off with. I'll go in both directions to start with. And we're going to start by sliding the right leg out behind you. And the higher the leg comes, the further I'm going to tip my body forward, but keeping these pelvic bones nice and level. Now you can either reach your hands down by your side, or you reach your arms out overhead and you hold. Just have a look that your standing knee is not locked. It should just be soft bend. And then we're going to slowly come up to standing and change legs. So just be aware that we don't want to lift the leg too far because then the pelvis will rotate. Our goal is more about keeping the pelvis square. A little bit different to when we do it in yoga. And slide the leg out behind you. Start to extend the leg. Lift the leg up, but as the leg lifts up, the body's going to have to tip forward. The arms reach out in front. Shoulders down away from the ears. And slowly coming back to standing. We'll go one more on each side. So as I start to slide the leg out, the fingers will reach forward. The torso is reaching. I'm lengthening, trying to keep my pelvis level. As I come back to standing. A little bit of sway. And the last time on the final side. And that does tend to happen when you look at a camera. So I always tend to pick a spot on the floor and focus on that. All right, lovely job everyone. I hope you enjoyed that and have fun. Stay safe.